Hi everyone, this is Regina from Creative Kismet, and I had an event that I went to a few weeks ago, and I had made this wrist corsage to wear just as a fun little accessory. You can see how it fits. I've got an elastic band and it's got some beads and some multicolor, a couple layers, and these little kind of twisty leaves. And it was really fun to make, and I thought I'd show you how to make one. I made another one that's kind of has more orange colors. Again, it has the layers and the little leaves. This doesn't have anything on it. I was going to maybe make it into a brooch. You could even make it into a hair accessory as well. First, you're going to need just regular felt. I just used what I had, which is just regular craft acrylic felt. And then Beth from Curly Fur gave me some of these supplies to test out. These are fancy fiber crumbs, which is really, really great because it's small little bits. Perfect for a project like this. If you're not a felter, then this might be a fun bag to have. These are fancy, so they're a little bit shiny or silky. And then this one is woolly bun crumbs, and I'll put the link up so you can look at her products. But this one's really great. Lots of bright colors, perfect for making flowers and little projects. So they're just so you don't have to invest in big balls of wool that you might not use. This is a nice little kit. I also got these multicolored ones, which is also very perfect for flowers. This one's very pink and yellow and orange, and so that's really nice colors. And you'll also need some thread, some sewing needles, and then felting needle. These both are 36 gauge felting needles, which she also has on her website shop. And what's special about these needles is that they're barbed, so they have little pieces that stick out that kind of grab the felt and push it through. And she has these cute little sets that have 40, 38, and 36 size. They come in a cute little package like this with a little ball, which is super cute. So you can get just a few of the supplies you need. You don't have to get a bunch of stuff for this, but it's kind of a fun thing to do. So I'm going to start out with making this flower. And this is 2 circles. I made a centerpiece as well, and I kind of fringed it. Not necessary. You could just do it with a simple small dot. I'm using this blue, electric blue and purple combination. I thought that would be fun. And I'm going to make the leaves with this kind of teal colored felt, and I'm just gonna find some colors that will go with this mix. I want some pink in there and a little bit of blue, maybe some lighter pink, and I really like this shiny pink, so I'm going to try to get some of that in there too. I think, oh, here's some more shiny pink. Let's see if I'm going to use those. But I think those are the colors I want to use for right now. There's another cool little purple one. That'll be good. And then for the leaves, I'm going to pick out some leafy green colors. And a little bit of blue. So these are all nice little colors to add in. So I'm going to start with the main circle, and with the outside one, you don't need much felt on this. I think I'm going to go with a little bit of blue, and I'm just going to go on the edges and put some extra colors in on the edges, and you just need little teeny wisps of this stuff and just kind of lay it down where you want it. And I'm going to do a little bit of this darker blue. I don't want a lot. I want the main color of this to be this electric blue, the felt color. So I just kind of want to give it a little bit of interest. And then you're going to take your felting needle and you're just going to kind of tack it in. And you're going to go all the way. And you kind of have some control over where you want this to go. You can kind of pull it to the areas where you want it. And just tack it in. And you want to make sure to rest your elbow on the table, otherwise your wrists and shoulders can get really sore. So you want to totally relax your shoulders, shake your head around a little bit. You want this to be a nice, relaxing, meditative project, and you don't want to cause any tension in your neck. So I would probably want to keep this closer to the edge because we're going to get, the center is going to be covered with another piece of felt. So if you put it down and you don't want it, you can just kind of pull it back out because we haven't double tacked it yet. And so it's still kind of movable. And I want to just mention here that I'm not a felter. This is just something I decided to try to figure out on my own. I also took a little felting class with Sunny Carvalho in Art Fest and got a few tips in that class on the basics from what I'm showing you here now. Okay, so I have the color where I want it. So then you're going to flip it over and you can feel how it kind of grabs. Oh, and I forgot to mention this foam pad. This is specifically for felting. Well, it's just more sturdy. You can get the upholstery fabric, the yellow kind, but it kind of tends to fall apart quickly. I really like this one. It's nice and firm and sturdy. Now that you have it flipped over, you're going to see all these little fibers sticking out at the back. And so you're going to kind of curl those around your needle and tack them back in. So you're kind of pushing them back through, creating a kind of a little knot going back in. So this secures them and tacks them down in place. And it'll kind of poke them out through the other side, and then you'll just turn it around and continue to tack them back. So you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just kind of trying to grab them, tack them back in. Nothing too major. And then if you want to go back in and kind of tack these down more. I like it to look a little on the fuzzy side. It makes it look like it's real hand felted fiber. So I've got it where I want it. I'll flip it one more time and get those last fibers in. I'm not really gonna make too big of a deal about getting the back side super neat. Okay, so you don't know if you can see in this flower, but it's kind of, this bottom one is made a kind of a cup, and it also kind of made these wavy little petal-like shape. So how I did that is that I folded it in half, and then all along the edge I'm felting it to itself. So I'm just tacking it. I kind of don't tack this maybe 1 inch centerpiece area. And you want to try to stay pretty close to the edge if you can. Flip it over, kind of grab those pieces and tack them back in. You want to try to tack them in a different hole than what they're coming out of, or a different space. And then tack some more. Again on this side. And I'm going to flip it over again and grab these. Okay, so now when you open it up, you've got this little crease going down it. I'm going to fold it in half again, and I'm going to do the same thing again. Now we've got kind of 4 petals. Now I'm going to fold it again this way, and then fold it again this way, which will give it 8 petals. Kind of seeing how it's starting to really turn into a cup. One more fold. So now we've got our bottom piece, and it's a cute little cup shape. Okay, and you can see some of those fibers pulling, and this will totally come apart if you pull it hard enough, but we're going to be nice and gentle with it. And then I got these cute little scissors that my friend Yanni sent to me, and I'm going to kind of create, and they're curved. These scissors are a little curved, so that kind of helps. From the point of each seam, I'm going to kind of go and do this little dip cut. Okay, so that piece is done. This one I'm going to go a little bit thicker and bigger. I think I'm going to put some of this bluish purple. It's kind of like a periwinkle color, and I'm just going to kind of lay it all over. A little bit of pink around the edges. You can see you could probably make a lot of flowers out of these little bits of wool. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit darker pink around the center, and I'm going to curl that around and kind of reshape that as I go. And I want a little bit of blue in it so that it can kind of go with that outer piece. So I'm going to get some of that in there as well. And you can layer as much on there as you want. So I'm going to just do a couple of little tacks. And I might omit this little piece here because I like that pink in the middle, so I think I might leave that out. So I'm going to just start tacking down. Tack down. And it's still looking a little flat to me, so I'm going to do another layer of this pink. Flip it over, and now you can see all that fuzz coming out the other side. So we're going to tack that back through, and this is going to be a lumpy piece of felt, but you don't need to worry about that because it's going to be pressed into this. So it's looking nice and fuzzy now, and I'm going to get a little bit of that blue back in there. Okay, so now you've got this nice multicolored little disc. Trimmed it down just a little bit, and I want to get some of the sparkly stuff in it too, so I'm going to kind of spread that around and tack that down. And at this point, you would add the center, and that just takes a few tacks in the center. I don't want to tack the whole thing all around the edges. I want just to tack the center down, turn it over, grab that green, tack it back in a different space, and then tack it in a little bit more. And then grab it, tack it. So you can see it's just like a little cup in the middle there, and you can see some of those sparkly fibers, I hope. So at this point, you would get some beads and do some beading. In this one, I added a bit of green, lime green or mossy green in the middle with a few little green beads and a few green beads outside, and then I went in with some gold and some gold thread. So you can kind of see how you can play around with those, and you're gonna, once you get it all beaded, you're gonna tuck it in so that it kind of curls into place, and it gives you this nice little cute flower. Okay, I'm not going to show you the threading and sewing part because I want to move on to the leaves before this video gets too long. So I'm going to get some green. So I've got my colors down. I'm just show that to you a little better. And then I'm going to start tacking away. So it makes it a folded leaf, which gives it a little bit of curve. And you can also stretch and pull the edges of the felt, and that kind of makes it a little bit more wobbly. Kind of stretch and pull so you can make this curvy edge. I really love how these leaves turn out. They turn out really fun and kind of wonky. And I'll just work on the second one. Okay, so I've got that looking the way I want it. Fold in half. And start tacking down the center fold. Okay, so I got it where I want it. You can kind of try to twist those points. Twist and pull. So now when you add these on, you get this pretty little flower.